Well, we got Darrell Issa here with us, a Republican of California, so he's kind of used to weather like this. The always cool as a cucumber, never sweats. Darrell Issa joining us now, who runs the Oversight Committee of the House. How did you vote today, Congressman?
Well, I voted for it, and if the 4 members you put up, 2 of them serve on my committee, one's a subcommittee chairman. So we worked with them. They came to a good decision that we're very proud of.
All 4 of them voted for it?
The 4 that you put up that voted for it, Langford and Kelly both serve on my committee.
Oh, okay.
Kelly's a deputy.
Was there pressure put on that? Vote
not
for this,
not at all.
Sleep with the fishes coming
No,
out?
there was a lot of explaining. There were some compromises. There were changes made to try to do this. Remember, after all,
But what were the compromises? I know the balanced budget thing was in there. What else?
we added $65 billion of new cuts.
Are they real cuts?
Well, you know, in Washington, a real cut is only found out later. Quite frankly, you go through the CBO scoring. The Speaker had one targeted number. CBO scored it differently. We added another $65 billion. But let's remember, we are, in fact, spending less year over year for the first time in the nearly 11 years I've served in Congress.
But isn't it a pistol that with that we're still just so over the top in red?
Well, that's one of the challenges, is you have the Democrats here today talking about how dare you make these cuts, and we just need more tax increases, and they don't want to cut anything.
What did you think of Nancy Pelosi say that this is, you're compromising even the planet?
Well, let's just say that exaggeration has never had a limit for her.
Do you think she's nuts?
I think she's wrong.
Okay.
And I think, Neil, I think
But do you think that's a nutty thing to say in this environment when you're trying to compromise, try to iron out a deal? When you talk like that to the other side, why would they want to talk to you?
You know, I've served with many CEOs in business, and the first thing you look for in a CEO
You're a pretty accomplished CEO yourself.
Well, I had some time, but the fact is you look for adult leadership. The most important quality is a level of maturity. I think Speaker Boehner has shown that.
Do you think she has?
I don't think she really has in this case. She could have been a leader with an alternate plan. She could have talked about where they agree, and then, of course, remained where we disagree.
Well, the president says she was a leader with an alternate plan and willing to accept things and make sacrifices that Republicans were not.
Well, that remains to be seen, because all I've seen is a blank sheet of paper repeatedly from the other side. But having said that, Speaker Boehner has for the second time proposed a compromise. Cut, cap, and balance was a compromise. This is a compromise. It goes to the Senate to see if they'll respond.
You're a great reader of this environment, and you're one of the few as a read of the Wall Street and business community environment, because you're such an accomplished businessman yourself. You must know what they're saying. This is the business community. This is all kabuki theater. Nothing substantive is getting done here. They're kicking the can down the road. Our rating is at risk. Does it bother you?
Well, Neil, remember, our rating is at risk if we do nothing. If we do something and it's not enough, our rating's at risk.
It's going to be downgraded regardless.
And this is one of the reasons that Speaker Boehner wanted to do as much as he possibly could. Cut, cap, and balance did a lot more than what we've sent over today. What we sent over
was
today.
Was he in trouble yesterday? Was that why we're 24 hours later with this? Was his very speakership in doubt?
I don't think his speakership was in doubt, because as I talked to many of the members who felt they couldn't vote, they felt they couldn't vote in some cases for political reasons. You mentioned it when your discussion with the Tea Party. Many of these.
What do you think of that? She sounds very angry.
Well, look, there's a lot of anger out there on both sides. One of the important things in Washington is we've got to put our anger aside. We've got to do what's right. We talk about compromise. Compromise is hard to reach, but finding common ground, in this case, knowing that we must reduce spending, even if there's a tax increase or revenue increases or elimination of some deductions at some point, we also know we need to do some of these cuts. That's the confidence that's going to come out of the bill we sent to the Senate. If the Senate sends it back to us, substantially similar.
Okay.
Thank you.
Congressman, thank you very much. You had a crazy schedule. We do appreciate